Hey, this is OLDDOGG. We're going to build a base in Empyrion. We're just going to cover the basics. I'm going to start off with like a basic tool. We're going to go into resource mode, and we're going to collect the resources to start our first base. We're going to collect the rocks. We can take the crushed stone and convert those into resources that we can use. I might need things to eat, so I'm going to gather some of these other resources. Alright, let's say you don't have enough stones nearby to collect. You can also collect rock out of the dirt. Set your tool to resource mode. Start digging. That change in gathering the audio. We can hit stones. Once you've collected stone, go ahead and put your portable instructor out. And if you have friends that are playing with you, and they're in your faction, you can always set this tab to allow them to access this device as well. I'm just going to put everything in here. And then these tabs, that's what they are, will display additional things to craft. We're going to look at the block section, and we want a starter base block. So we'll need a core first, so we're going to go to the components category, and wait, where's that? Excuse me. We're in the devices. So we need 5 computers. That's the computer. So we probably need to gather some more stone. So we'll go to the block section, and then we'll select concrete. A little tip here, if you hold shift down and click, it'll populate 10 at a time. If you hold Control down and click, it'll populate 100 in the queue. And then if you hold Control and Shift and click, you get 1,000. We're going to need more stone, so I'm going to get to it. Alright, once we have our block and our stone, we're going to put them in our toolbar. We're going to place our base down. This is the core. I'm going to press the page down button on my keyboard to sink it just slightly into the dirt. And then I'm going to left click. Now I'm going to select the blocks of concrete and attach them to my core. There's a little trick you can do here. If you point at the core, wrong button, point at the core, hit the N button, N as in Nancy, you can select this connect to base option, hit escape, and now wherever you put your block, it will be connected to the core. Here's another option. If you hold down on the left click button as you're placing the block, you can extend the number of blocks that you're placing at once. Now let's say you want to put some walls up, but you don't want a full-size block. You can right-click to open up shape dialog box. So we can do half cube or we can do thin walls. I'm going to do a half cube. Now to turn the cube in the direction I want it to be in, I'm going to hit the insert button to change the axis. Then I'm going to hit the home button, rotate it. Alright, so already I see this may not work here because it's going to leave a gap on the side of this cube here. We can see that right here. When I put the next cube over, it'll have a gap. So we got to pick the shape that's going to work for us. Once again, I need to adjust the pivot by hitting insert. And just do that, rotate it. I'm going to put my corners in. Change the shape again. I got my half ball. I'm gonna click and hold the button down and then just move my character over. Another trick here, you hold shift and click from an inventory. It will transfer as much as it can to your inventory, depending on your space. building, you can also hit F5 on your keyboard to bring out your drone. And your drone will fly within a certain distance, and you'll know when you've losing contact with the drone by a sound, and the screen will change. There you go. Now I want to put an easy step in option here. So I like this ramp A. I hit F5 to exit my drone. I canceled my construction because I want to use my stone to make my door. And I cannot make a door. Why can't I make a door? Because I need a motor. What's in the motor I don't have? Got components here. And if you have this show all, then you'll be able to see all the components. Motor requires plastic. Well, what does plastic tubes require? Carbon substrate. How do you make carbon substrate? I'll look over here. There's carbon substrate. We're going to need plant fibers and stone dust. Got stone. Time to get some plants. To get the plant fiber, we can either gather if we see it. Alright, so there's a better way of getting fiber. That's with chainsaw. And lucky for me, I have a little bit of fuel in the saw. From the trees. Use this on a larger tree, you get more logs out of it. And when you collect wood logs, you'll be able to make a lot more fiber out of that than just collecting fiber. Shift click. We can now make our door. I'm going to select base, so that I only see the objects that I can make for the base. Now, got fuel here. I'm going to select the categories of weapons. Select all. See fuel here. Ah, it's under components. So biofuel requires plant fiber. So we'll make a little biofuel for us. Make sure we have the ability to use our chainsaw should we need more fiber. I'm going to take that door, place it. It says automatic, but why is it not automatically working? Probably because we need to give it some power. Hit the P button. As we're looking at our base, it'll bring up what we call the P. If we click on the Devices tab, this yellow text are the items that should be installing onto our base. So we're going to need a fuel tank, an oxygen tank, and a generator. Let's see what we can make. Okay, there's a couple of different approaches we can do here. It doesn't specifically say this. Now we could create the generator and we could add, create a fuel tank. But another option would be to create wind power to be stored in the capacitors, which is also used by the solar panels. Let's make a capacitor. We'll do a solar panel. Make a couple solar panels. Then we'll do wind turbines. Make sure we select a few solar capacitors, and we just let that cook. I'm going to take this biofuel, collect some more. Alright, I have a solar capacitor. Just going to stick it somewhere on the base. Alright, we've got our components. I'm going to put all my solar capacitors inside of the building. And on the top of the building, I want to add my solar panels. And I'm going to face it towards the sun. That does matter. Actually, I'm going to put it down below, I think. My constructor might be in the way. Put it back here to the back. You know, I might want to give it some foundation to sit upon. With it being covered, it may not get the sunlight. You see this yellow marker here? And the green? It tells us that we're getting some sunlight and also gives us the strength of it. It's not very good right now, and it is getting dark. But it'll collect the sunlight, provide energy, and it'll get stored into these solar capacitors. We turn the power on, and it's starting to store. We only have about, 15 minutes left of power. Now, you don't necessarily need an oxygen tank because this planet is oxygenated. Hit the map button. We're on Gaia. See, we have O2 breathable air, obviously. And that's pretty much the start of it. You know, add your components as needed. Might want to add a cargo box to start with, so we can store our stuff in. We all like stuff. Might want to keep our food from spoiling. Make a fridge. Constructor. We'll want a small constructor. And then we'll also want a wireless connector. And a clone chamber. This will allow us to mark this base as our home spawn. Should we die clear across the planet, we could always spawn here at the home. Now, med station can do the same thing, but you won't learn the med station right away. Oh, what about our wind power? Let's add our wind. Oh, I don't have enough space. Yeah, the other one might be a little too close. We'll get one up. I'm going to have to remove this guy. And with your starter tool, you can't really remove it. You can salvage it. And make another one. Silly. Now, your cargo boxes come in different shapes and sizes. Right click to open up your shape dialog. And then if you hover your mouse over cargo containers, you'll get some information about those containers and how much they'll hold. You have a volume capacity. I like to look at the volume capacity first of all. So the volume capacity of this one is 16 kiloliters. 8 kiloliters, so that's going to be less. 16 kiloliters, 8 kiloliters, 16 kiloliters. And then, how about the, oh yes, let's look at the volume. Volume 20 liters, volume 20 liters, volume 20 liters, 43 liters, 72. I'm going to go with the 72 liters. Put that up, that up. Now we got 2 cargo boxes. And how about a fridge? Put our fridge up. What's the draw on our power? We're hardly using any power. We're making it. All right, instructor, wireless, and clone chamber. That's going to take a minute. We'll be back when that's done. All right, we've got our instructor. Hitting the home button to rotate it. We have our wireless. Put that up somewhere. We'll put that over here. And clone chamber. Now we open up the key menu of our structure. We can set this as home. I have a home somewhere else, so I'm not going to set it as home. See the draw. We're still not really using much. That's good. That pretty much covers it. Now you can add a ammo box and a turret to it, should you need that